I believe that everything starts with our ancestors, funny enough. I believe that this whole story starts with a gentleman who fought with Napoleon. Napoleon had a huge battle, and one of my ancestors was one of the generals that he fought with. And after the battle, Napoleon took his sword, which was filled with arsenic, and it was filled with arsenic because if he wounded somebody during battle, the person would die from the poisoning. And that sword was covered in rubies and emeralds, according to my grandmother, full of all kinds of natural gems. And back then they didn't have any kind of, these things that you give the medallions. So what they did is Napoleon took the sword and cut it into 4 pieces and gave my ancestor, which was in the 1800s, one of those pieces. So in World War II, that piece was actually, it was buried in the backyard in 1945 because they were worried about the raids to the houses where everybody was looting because of Greece being in World War II, and people were poor and they were raiding whatever they could steal from the houses. So my grandmother buried it in the yard under a lemon tree. What happened was a bomb came and hit the house, created this huge crater, and the piece basically was incinerated. It just blew out of nowhere. What happened was the story was told to me when I was 6 years old, and as a young kid, I decided to go ahead and start digging up the yard. And what I found out was the yard was actually an ancient burial ground for Greeks, ancient Greeks. So I started finding all kinds of small little treasures. I never found the sword. And when I finished digging up my grandmother's yard, there were holes everywhere. My grandmother used to always laugh and smile whenever I did that. I started digging up other people's yards, and people would come and complain to my grandma that I was digging at their house. Basically, at that stage, I found all kinds of things. I found what were treasures to a child, bullets, things like that from World War II, all kinds of ancient ceramics, and I also found quartzes, clear quartzes, just by things. And to me, those were like diamonds. They looked like a diamond to me anyway. So it was a natural gem, and those things were the greatest treasures for me. And of course, when I started traveling, I took all that quest that I had for searching for treasure with me. And when I became a gemologist in 1988, and I started traveling the world, to me it was almost inside of me. It was a part of me. And those childhood adventures just continued. And I'm actually very, very shy around people. People don't realize it, but for me, I found the beauty of being alone in the jungle and being alone with people that were in the villages with very, very simple, pure character and mentality. That to me was the most fulfilling. It was almost like a getaway. And every time I would come to the city, I realized that the country boy inside of me wanted me just to leave and go back to the places that I've been to. So the more remote it was, the happier I was as a person.